Hey guys, would you like to be able to travel more often, but you just can't afford to? Well, in today's video, I'm going to share some money-saving travel tips with you to help you spend less money on your travel so that you can afford to travel more often. So while not all of these tips are going to apply to everyone in every situation, if you can apply even one of these tips, you'll save some significant money. And if you can combine more than one of these, maybe even several, the savings can really start to stack up. So tip number one, and this is definitely going to be the most important tip that I have in this video, be flexible with your travel dates. What I mean by that is, if you have an exact day that you have to leave on and an exact day that you have to return on, you're kind of at the mercy of the airlines. And this is going to cost you considerably more money in most cases. Even if you just have a 2 or 3 day window on the day that you're going to leave on and the day that you're going to come back on, this could save you hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And obviously, the bigger the window you have on either end, both your departure date and your return date, is that many more opportunities to save money. So one of the reasons that being flexible with your travel dates is so important is because the cost of a plane ticket can vary hundreds or in some cases even thousands of dollars from one day to the very next day. And the more opportunities you have for your day to be one of those days when it's cheaper, the better opportunity you have to save money. So if you have an exact date that you've got to leave and an exact date you got to return, if that ticket's $1,000, then it's $1,000. You have no options. But if you have even a 3-day window, say Sunday the ticket's $1,000, Monday the ticket's $800, Tuesday the ticket's $650. You have saved $350 per person by being flexible with that travel date. Now, if there's only one of you, $350, maybe that's not a huge deal. If you're traveling with someone or maybe with your family, even $100 a ticket savings can really add up to a significant amount. Tip number 2, be flexible with your departure airport. So what I mean by this is, depending on where you live, there may be multiple major or international airports within a fairly short drive of where you live. For example, my home airport is Tulsa International. It's a pretty small airport, not a lot of flights coming and going each day, which usually means it's going to be a much more expensive option to fly out of. About a 3 or 3.5 hour drive from my house is DFW, which is Dallas Fort Worth International. It's a huge airport, lots more flights coming and going each day than Tulsa has, and that makes it almost always a much cheaper departure airport than Tulsa. So once you've determined what other airports are in your area that you may be able to fly out of, just take a quick look at what it may cost from that airport to your destination instead of the airport closest to your house to your destination, and you may be really surprised at what a difference this can make. Tip number 3, be flexible with your destination airport. Now this is going to go hand in hand with tip number 2, but depending on where your destination is, there may also be multiple international or major airports near your destination. So for example, on a recent family vacation to San Francisco, I discovered while doing some trip research that I could save about $150 per person round trip by flying from DFW Airport to San Jose International Airport instead of from DFW to San Francisco International Airport. Well, since there were 5 of us traveling, that added up to a savings of about $750. Those 2 airports are only about an hour apart, so you wouldn't think there would be that much difference in price between one airport and the other, but that really is often the case, which is why you really need to do your research and check all the airports in the area of your destination. Now, I'll also say that I paired up tip number 3 with tip number 2, meaning instead of flying out of Tulsa International Airport, which is my home airport, we had already made the decision to drive down to Dallas and fly out of DFW Airport. That saved us about $175 per person per ticket. So if you add up what I saved by using tip number 2 and tip number 3, we saved over $1,500 in airfare just by following those 2 simple tips. Tip number 5, use carry-on luggage whenever possible. Now, this may not sound like a big deal, but most airlines charge $25 to $35 per checked bag each direction on your trip. So that means you're looking at $50 to $70 per person per bag. Depending on how many people are traveling with you, that can really start to add up. So I'm not going to go too deep into this one today because I have a whole nother video planned to discuss carry-on bags, tips and tricks for packing as much as possible into a carry-on bag, what the dimensions of your carry-on bag can be, how to take advantage of the personal item that most people don't realize they get to take on board as a carry-on, and some other things like that. So we will leave that one for another video. Tip number 6, get frequent flyer miles accounts for yourself and family members that you travel with. Now, this is one that the more I talk to people, the more I realize most people just do not take advantage of frequent flyer programs, and they probably just do not realize how much they're leaving on the table as far as free travel. To give you a quick example, my wife and I are taking a trip to Turks and Caicos Islands next week in the Caribbean, and we're using only frequent flyer miles to pay for our airline tickets. So this is totally free travel that we're not having to pay for. So even if it may seem like a little bit of trouble on the front end to spend 5 minutes per person filling out the information to get the frequent flyer miles account set up that first time, after that you never have to do anything except plug in the frequent flyer number, and on some airlines it'll even save the information for that passenger with the frequent flyer number. So you type in the frequent flyer number and it fills out everything from their name to their birth date and everything, and you're all set. So it actually can not only save you time when you're making reservations in the future, but before you know it, you will have enough miles to get yourself some totally free travel. And really, what can be better than free travel? So my 7th and final tip might not be my most popular one for everyone, but hear me out. Be flexible with your destinations. So I know a lot of the time we have a specific destination in mind, Rome or Paris or London, and that's really where you want to go, and you're not interested in thinking about anywhere else. But there's going to be a lot of times, using myself as an example, where during the summer, sometimes I just want to go somewhere to get out of heat for a week, or sometimes during the winter, I just want to go somewhere warm to get out of the cold for a while. If you can be somewhat flexible like that with your destination, and you really just want to go somewhere warm or go somewhere to the beach, or in the summer you're just wanting to go somewhere cool, maybe to the mountains in Colorado or something like that, you can really save a ton of money by traveling like this. So to give you an example of how this could work to your advantage, I get an email every few days from an airline that offers penny fares that really amount to about $15 one way each direction. If you already have a destination locked in your head that this is where I've got to go, the odds of you finding a $15 one-way fare to that destination and a $15 one-way fare back is pretty slim. But one that I've found multiple times is a $15 fare from my home airport in Tulsa to Denver, Colorado, and then also able to get a $15 fare to come back. I'm also able, from my home airport in Tulsa, which is just a short drive from here, find a $15 fare from here to Orlando, Florida, where I can get out of the cold during the winter, and a $15 one-way fare back. Now, on these, you also have to be flexible with your dates. If you're wanting to go during a specific 1 week a year, the odds of you finding that fare to that exact place in that exact time when you're wanting to go there is very slim. But if you're flexible with your travel dates, flexible with your destination airports, all those things, you can get yourself a round trip ticket to some pretty nice destinations for $30, which is, I would have never imagined a few years ago. So guys, I hope you found this video useful and that you can use some of these tips to help you get out there and start traveling more, because it's really what I want this channel to be all about, is useful tips that you guys can apply to help you be able to save money and make some trips affordable that maybe you never thought could be affordable. In these last few years, after discovering some of these different things and being creative with my travel, I've been able to take trips that I never dreamed I would be able to afford before I retired, and I've been able to take my kids on them, and
And that's what you really want to do, is be able to get out there and enjoy these kinds of things with your family. So if you did enjoy this video, please hit the thumbs up below and consider subscribing to this channel for more of this type of content. If there's something specific that you would like to see a video on, or maybe you just have a quick question, leave it in the comments below and I'll answer any questions. And if there's something that I can make a video that will help you all out, I'll be glad to do that. So guys, thanks for watching, and please check back for more content soon.